So there you have it. Last little run up. I know. Aw. You know what? Screw it. Let's do another day. What do you say? Yeah! I have no idea what we're going to talk about, but it's going to be awesome. I think I'm out of words. I think the team is, and I think you guys probably need to take a nap. But there is one thing, as the slide would suggest, there is one thing you absolutely, positively must do right now. And that's what I want to talk about. This is actually only going to take, we've allowed an hour for this. This is actually only going to take hopefully about 15 or 20 minutes. So the good news is I'm going to have you up, out, kicking it back to the bar in just a little bit. Although some of you guys should probably give your livers a little bit of a rest. But there is one thing, and big credit to those of you who are still back in this room. I know, by the way, how hard it is to sit in a room for 3 days. I can't do it. I get super twitchy. I'm walking around in the back. It's tough. So thank you for being here and sticking out and getting the full value of your investment, both in the money that you spend and the time that you're away from your businesses while you're here. Really, I appreciate you doing that, and I hope that it's been a worthwhile investment. Yeah, good deal. So the one thing you absolutely positively must do right now, let's talk about that. Question, who took a lot of notes over the last 3 days? Took a couple notes? Fantastic. How many of you have come to conferences like these, have taken lots and lots of notes, left, went home, and promptly done nothing? Right? But you come back with notes, and you're excited. And when we're done, you're all going to stand and be like, oh, that's so great, ah! And then you go back, and you're going to hit this pesky thing called real life, right? You're going to hit this pesky thing called real life. How many of you guys are flying back first thing? Like, how many of you guys are leaving tonight? And you're actually going to go into the office. What is today? Say Thursday, right? It's like, I just realized we had a election primary on Tuesday. I had no idea that any of this had happened. We've been floating around another planet. So how many of you guys are going to go into the office on Friday? You know what's going to be waiting there when you get there? Life. The same crap that has prevented you from getting all the stuff done that you knew you needed to get done long before you even came in here is still going to be waiting for you. The only difference is you have more stuff that you need to do, right? And so I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen here. I so appreciate the investment that you have made in being here today that I want to make sure that you get tremendous value for that investment. Because I don't just want you leaving here saying, wow, that was the best event I've ever been to. I want you to do that. But what I want you to be able to say is, wow, that was the best event I've ever been to, comma, and I learned this and achieved this result. That's what's going to keep you coming back. That's what's going to get you telling others. That's what's going to allow this company to grow. That's what's going to give us the finances and the funding that we need to achieve our mission of doubling the size of 10,000 businesses by 2020. I want you to have that result. It's critical to our mission, all right? I want you to be among those businesses that have doubled, all right? So what's the one thing you absolutely must do right now? You must choose your one thing. The one thing you must do is pick your one thing. What is the one big thing that you are going to do when you get back? One. My guess is that you have a lot of things that you would like to do when you get back. What's the one thing that you're going to do? I want to walk through a little bit of an exercise that I learned from my good friend Carl White. Is Carl White here by any chance? I'll guarantee you he isn't, because Carl White's probably on a Harley Davidson, just loving life. Carl White's been a friend and war room member for a number of years, and I remember one day we were all sitting there talking about all these great ideas that he had, and he just went up to the whiteboard and just started drawing. And by the time he was done drawing, all of our jaws were dropped. We're like, holy crap, we're a bunch of freaking idiots. So I want to walk through what he drew that day. He drew a couple of cliffs, and he said, okay, guys, this is you. You're here. And what you want, your proverbial pot of gold is there on the other side. That's different for each and every one of you who's in this room. It's different for all of you. The thing that you want is a little bit different, but rest assured, you're all here because you want something. The most content person on planet Earth is not in this room. Do you believe that? You know, it's freaking weird that you're here, right? We do our best to be entertaining, but there's better entertainment out there, right? We do our best. But the most content person on planet Earth is not in this room. You're here because you want something. You're here because you want more. The first question I have for you is, do you know what that is? Do you even know what your pot of gold is? It's a lot easier when you do. When I first started my business, right? I told you about this. You heard about it 2 days ago. I started this business as a freshman in college because what I wanted, my pot of gold, was a diamond ring that I could slip onto a girl's finger and say, will you marry me? That's what I wanted. That was my pot of gold, and I wanted it worse than anything else. And that's why when everybody else was partying, everybody else was doing their stuff, I was pulling all-nighters, building companies. That's why I'm here today, right? Because I had the pot of gold, I had the thing that I wanted. So what is that for you? What's the thing that's waiting for you on the other side that is going to cause you to do the hard work? Because if it were easy, guys, you would have already done it. My guess is that for many of you, at least half the notes that you wrote down were things that you were reminded of that you already knew that you should be doing, right? Did that happen to anyone else in this room over the last 3 days? You just paid a metric butt ton of money and spent a lot of time to be taught things you already knew, right? Hopefully you learned some new cool things along the way too, right? But oftentimes we're reminded of things that we should be doing, and we don't. Why? Not because we don't know how, but because it's hard. So what's on that other side? What is that pot of gold? You need to know that. What is it? And so we have something that we want, and we don't have it yet. And so we come to places like these. We read books, we attend webinars, right? We show up. We invest our money and we invest our time to gather in a room like this because there's something on the other side that we want. And what we really believe, whether we acknowledge it or not, is that we're going to come into this room and we're going to find something that's going to be a bridge. It's going to be a bridge that's going to get us from where we are to where we want to be. But here's what we do more times than not. How many of you guys got a really good idea this weekend while you're here? Really good idea. What was your really good idea? What you got? What's one of them? So putting some sharing when the people go in and what was the tool that was used to do that? It doesn't matter. But basically, when somebody buys something, doing some social sharing, putting that on the back. So that's a cool little tactic. So you hear something about social sharing. What else? Anybody else learn anything that they'd like to implement? What you got?
The ad grid.
The ad grid. Ooh, I want to do that ad grid thingy. I want to do that social sharing thingy. Anybody else? What you got?
90-day onboarding.
The 90-day onboarding. I want to do that 90-day onboarding thing that Rich talked about. I want to do that ad grid thing that Molly talked about. I want to do the social sharing stuff on the back of my e-com sales that Perry talked about. And so we have these ideas. And we say, you know what? I like that ad grid thing. Let's start building that bridge. And we start building that bridge and we stop halfway through because we go, oh, you know what? Actually, I think that 90-day thing, I should actually go back and I should start doing that one too. And then there was that social sharing thing. Actually, that seemed simple. I think that was just a plug-in. Forget all these other things. They're a little bit too hard. I'm going to go back and I'm going to do that. And what we wind up with when we leave this is an enormous number of half-built bridges. And built into these half-built bridges is all the effort and energy that we have at any given time. But they're utterly worthless. What good is a half-built bridge? I mean, unless it's the movie Speed and you're Keanu Reeves and you're able to, right? A half-built bridge is actually more dangerous than no bridge at all. There's the myth of work. There's the myth of progress. But really, what you're doing is you're just wasting your time and your energy and your effort. And we're tired and we're frustrated. So here's what I would like for you to do. I would like for you to pick one thing What is the one bridge that you're going to build first? Complete it from beginning to end. Because what we know is when you build that bridge and you go across and you get a little bit of the thing that you want, you get to bring some of that back with you so you can build another bridge. And then you go back and you bring it back with you so you can build another bridge. And before long, real progress is being made. Real live progress is being made. We tell our certified partners that we give them a 73-point checklist that they can go through this exercise with their prospective clients. And we say that there are 73 bridges that could be built. The reality is, by the way, check out that animation. You like that? You're welcome. 73 bridges that we talk about with our certified partners, the reality is more like 73 billion, right? You guys have so many ideas right now. What I want you to do is I want you to just take 1 minute. Take 1 minute, I want you to scan your notes, and I want you to star bridge number 1. Take 1 minute. What's the first bridge that you're going to build? As you're going through, ask yourself, what's the thing that's going to make the biggest impact? What's the thing that's going to be not as much work, right? What's going to have that perfect balance between big impact with not as much effort? That's the ideal bridge to start with. What's that first bridge that you're going to build? Who feels like they have a pretty good idea of the one thing? Those of you who went through that exercise, I can almost guarantee you're going to get more value than the ones that didn't. All right? Now, there's another thing I want you to do. Let's get a little bit creepy. I want you all to take off your pants. I'm kidding. Don't joke. Sit down, sir. No. I would like for you to get out a sheet of paper, scrap piece of paper, maybe one of the ones that we gave you. And in the upper right-hand corner, I would like for you to write down today's date. Today's date is February 11th, 2016. February 11th, 2016, in the upper right-hand corner. Write down today's date. And then I would like for you to begin to write a letter. So start off, dear, your name. Don't actually write your name, smart aleck. Your actual name. Dear Graham. Wow. TNC sure was amazing. And that Ryan Deiss sure is attractive. You can leave that second part off. But it's true. I know. I'm just trying to be, Wow, TNC sure was amazing. Took a lot of great notes and learned a lot of great things. But the one big thing that I'm going to do first, and I'm going to commit to getting done by, and how are you supposed to write this fast? I'll say it again. Wow, TNC sure was great. I took a lot of notes. By the way, you can rephrase this however you like, Gerald. It's your letter. I'm not actually going to read it. Took a lot of great notes, learned a lot of great things, but the one big thing I'm going to do before anything else is, and I don't recommend that you write, and I commit to getting it done by, and I'd like for you to put in 30 days out. What's something you can get done in 30 days that's going to have a significant impact on your business? So 30 days out, I'd say March 11th. March 12th, if you want to take in the fact that there's only 29 days in February this year. What are you going to commit to getting done? We're still not to the creepy part yet. You guys good? Who's still writing? Good? All right. Fold it over into thirds. How many of you guys know the person sitting next to you? I want you to find a buddy. Fold it over, write your address on it. Find somebody next to you and trade letters and commit to mailing it to each other in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. Now, if the person sitting next to you is in South Africa and you're in Georgia, well, you guys got some big postage bills. My guess is that most of the people in this room aren't going to do this. But if you do it, you're going to get back to that pesky real world thing. But in a couple of weeks, you're going to be reminded when a letter arrives in the mail. You've heard of these things. They're the ones written on paper with the actual stamp on them. When a letter arrives in the mail from someone, you will have already forgotten about it. And you'll open it up, and there will be the words written on the commitment that you made today. By the way, if you want to add a little PS, the deadline is just 2 weeks away. You better get to work. We practice this exercise at the end of every war room meeting. We practice this exercise at the end of every implementation partner meeting. If you talk to the people that are in that, they will say that this is one of the most valuable things that we do. This sounds super creepy, but I write letters to myself all the time. I did a lot growing up. Like, not growing up, but I did it when I was in college. I would write little notes to myself, and I would put it in places that I know I would find it later on. I think it's even more powerful when it arrives in the mail. If you will do this, and if you will commit to getting that one thing done, I guarantee you the momentum is going to get going. You're actually going to experience real value from this. And if you begin this as a practice for every one of these events that you go to, not only are you more likely to get stuff done, but you'll have a new pen pal. So that's fun, right? But seriously, guys, I don't want you to leave here with a bunch of notes and an ether-like excitement, because those things are going to fade. I want you to leave knowing that, yeah, I'm going to actually get some things done. Can you do this? Who's going to actually get some stuff done with what they're learning here, right? Yes, please, 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 please do this. So that's the one big thing that I have for you. And if you'll do this, I'm confident. I really am, guys. I'm confident that it's going to be a lot, and you're going to be very, very happy about the investment that you made when you came here. That's my closing message to you. You heard in the We Believe video, we believe that ideas absent execution are worthless. Ideas absent execution are worthless. You've come here to get a lot of ideas. Please, please, please make a commitment to action. With that said, if we can cue up the video, we can close out this thing properly.
My distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to the 7th Annual Traffic and Conversion Summit.
If you needed a passport to get here, raise your hand.
I'm from Moscow, Russia.
I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
I'm from Chicago.
I'm from Kiev, Ukraine.
I'm from Tampa, Florida.
This is the time when we gather and we say, hey, check it out. This is what's working.
This is really our 3-step strategy for getting all of the customers that you want in 2016.
This is exactly how we think about things. What offers go with what temperatures of traffic?
My takeaway from day one was just really pride more than anything else. Seeing the digital marketer team and up there on stage and just delivering what they know, and then talking to folks afterwards and hearing that they're getting it.
I'm feeling a lot of kind of excitement. There's an exciting energy.
This is the best marketing event I've been to. Everybody knows it's the big one of the year.
And so, I think that Snapchat is a version of YouTube 2006. Back to the nice French gentleman, a lot easier to produce.
The language was a little interesting, but the content was fantastic.
The value curve of a transaction versus the lifetime branding of something is the disconnect and the opportunity.
Last night gave me really inspiring.
We want to build $1 billion company, and we really think native commerce can be that $1 billion company.
I see the next 10 years working with these companies because Shark Tank's not, it's not a game at the end of the day. It really is a real businesses that we're really investing in.
Teach them how to consume it even before they have it.
If somebody's eyes are glazed over, you can say, hey, go here, because this is where you can get the resources you need. This is where you can get the information you need. And if they are, well, that's awesome, but I really need something that's a little more advanced, we can just totally blow them away.
It's the easiest time ever in history to get somebody to do business with you. The second time, if you did them right. That's why you're all here.
I've learned so many good new tricks that I can't wait to go home and apply.
Do you know our mission? We want to double the size of 10,000 businesses by 2020.
I am absolutely inspired, I'm motivated, and I know that Digital Marketer can help me grow my business.
So you're still driving people to your new content. They're just choosing on something that you know they already like to hear about.
They've got the tactics plus the strategy plus the people, and there's just no limit to what they can do.
Once they believe, they'll start taking action, and that's when magical things happen.
I'm really excited to see what we have for you next year.
Thank you all so much. Let's give these guys a big round of applause. Big, big round of applause. Rich, Sebastian, John, Justin, Susie. Come on. Come on up, guys.
Let's go! This event has helped my business to explode.
This is the best event for entrepreneurs.
Hands down, this has been the most impactful event that I've ever gone to.
All, top to bottom, it's just the best.
More than anything I could have imagined.
Traffic and conversions is it's the bleeding edge of what's working online.
I mean, it's just not theory, they're actually showing us.
You will leave here with more actionable content than you've probably ever gotten from any conference ever.
There's nothing like it.
You gotta try to believe it.
You need to be here if you want to get ahead.
You could come to this event and start a digital marketing agency purely based off of what you learn here in a few days.
I mean, it's like the best event not only because of the content, but because everyone comes to it.
You're going to meet people like Gary Vaynerchuk, Damon John. I was speaking with Perry Belcher earlier as well.
And so the networking opportunity is second to none.
Everybody that is somebody is here at Traffic and Conversion because it is the place to attend.
Offline, online branding, all different industries, so it's not just one industry.
This is exactly what I need to move the needle on my business. You are going to want to come the next year and the next year, and you'll be kicking yourself that you hadn't come earlier.
This is my third year at Traffic and Conversion.
This is my fourth time attending Traffic and Conversion Summit.
Our #1 spot to come every year. The one event, no matter what, that I make sure that I'm available for.
We're learning a tremendous amount of information, implementing at the speed of instruction, and having a lot of fun.
This is going to change your business and your life.